why could Germany never win World War II. Have you ever thought of the underdogs movie, the underdogs in movies that always succeed in about real life? Well, in real life, it doesn't. The underdogs never win. Today, I'll be talking about Germany, why Germany could never win World War II. This speech is informed that Germany will never win World War II. First, I'll be talking about the resources that Germany had problems with. Second, I'll be talking about the lack of manpower and tank productions and everything that Germany had problem with. Finally, I'll be talking about the what if questions or the alternative history of Germany. During World War II, during 1941 to 1945, Germany was lacking of oil. For overusing them during the Battle of Britain, the War of France, and Czechoslovakia, using so much resources that really made it really hard to them to use it on their armored cars, tanks, and planes. Because these are the ones that use a lot of oil, which you can look at the video of on more videos about oil problems on YouTube on YouTube channel of Tip. And sorry. They couldn't really produce crude oil for themselves. They were lacking a lot of oil, so they had to trade with other countries. But the problem is that any other country was going against Germany. The only countries that really did make themselves oils was USA, Venezuela, and USSR. Which the only country that they actually traded with the Germans was Romania, Soviet Union. It wasn't enough for them. Germany was lacking oil because they always use their oil so much, and they always took over other countries for the reason why. Next, I'll be talking about the manpower and the tank. Second, I'll be talking about the war productions and manpower. The German war economy was a disaster. Yes, they built multiple tanks, but it was absolutely a nightmare technically. The tank production was just going upside down. The war, although it grows every year by year, but really it was just growing by little. Not enough for them to use it. But there was a problem. The problem is that oil. Before I said I said that before, they wasted so much oil in Germany. Was having problems with manpower as well. Since 1943 to 1945, they lost many soldiers during the Eastern Front mostly because of the Soviet Union. And other in the Western Front, but mostly it was in the Eastern Front. They were losing a lot of yes. Now I will show you some pictures of the tank productions of Nazi Germany. This was in 1943, 1944, 1945. You can see how tank production was going a little bit up, but not as mostly as the U.S. They can mass produce, but the thing is, it will be a target to the Allies because they don't have enough manpower and they don't have enough oil, so they can't mass produce other things that they wanted to. And this is the casualties of the Germans and other Axis. Finally, we will be talking about the alternative history. People have been saying if Germany could just didn't go to war with the USSR or the UK. First of all, if Germany didn't declare war on those countries, it could still go to war with them either way. Because let's start with the Russians. If And read if you read Hitler's book, Mein Kampf, or listen to Hitler's speeches, he says about conquering Russia and save the Aryan race and killing the subhumans, because he believes that he believes Judeo-Bolshevik, which is the Jews or created communism, and two were the biggest evil facing the Aryan race. Hitler always planned on the U.S. Hitler always planned to go to war with the United States. Since his second book that he wrote but never got published, saying that on 1926 he began to assume that some of the anti-German settlements on the United States will go to war with them on about 1942. And the U.S. The German Navy always wanted to go to war with the U.S. Navy, but they couldn't really go face to face because the U.S. Navy was stronger than the Germans. So they asked the Japanese to go to war with them, which a couple of days later, the Germans went to war with the Americans. Even though Hitler talked good things about the British having a good relationship with them, unless they take off the Jewish population of the Britain. The reason why they still go to war with them is because they liked the British. They attacked Poland, which one of the reasons why they attacked Poland is because part of Poland was part of Germany and they wanted it back. And Great Britain and France, they didn't want Germany to go with them to attack Germany. They didn't want Germany to attack Poland because it was their allies. And you can also look into more of the Dr. Robert's presence, why Hitler lost the war, Germany's tragic mistakes in World War II. Conclusion: what if not conquering Russia or the U.S. or just not declaring war on the British is never going to happen to them? Never going to make them win, because it's just the way the Nazis are. Hitler saw this as his destiny. He was going to do it at some point. You can't change history itself because it depends on the other person. It is important to know our history, not to remake them. And also, people still believe that they still could have won the war. We should educate them. And also, many people that survived during the war, we are losing them. And not many people know about this. We can go to this website to learn more about the ones that survived, the ones that died, and they should never be forgotten. You can go to these websites. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. 8:17.